Now, before we get into the video, I want to let you guys know about Pickswise.com. Pickswise is the home of sports picks and predictions. You can find the latest college basketball picks every game for every day, and they will give you a free pick for every single March Madness game once the tournament starts, and they'll be able to load in their picks right here. They will give you reasoning, sound reasoning from expert handicappers, from expert analysts. They feature the very best of the college basketball handicappers, and especially as it gets closer to March Madness, be sure to check them out and be sure to bet better with Pickswise. Sup guys, it's Alex here, and welcome to my 2021 SEC Tournament Predictions video. But before I take a look at the bracket here and go with my analysis of the tournament, I want to say thank you guys for all the support you've been giving me on my recent videos, whether it be the bracketology videos, whether it be the ACC Tournament predictions, whether it be the Big East Tournament predictions, and I'll be coming out with the Big 10, the Pac-12, and the Big 12 tomorrow. So be on the lookout for that. Make sure you have the post notifications turned on. I am doing a 7,000 subscriber giveaway. If we hit 7,000 subscribers by next Sunday, which is Selection Sunday, March 14th, and I mean a week until Selection Sunday, man, I am so freaking excited for it. I'll be having that tournament predictions video that comes out, and it's just my favorite video to make all year. But man, I'm so freaking excited for it. How you enter the 7,000 subscriber giveaway, all you have to do is hit subscribe to the channel, turn those post notifications on, send me a screenshot of you being subscribed to @AlexPrice24 on Instagram, and then you'll be entered. I'll send you a message that says you're entered, and all you have to do is just do that. Take a look at the description below of the video to learn how to enter. And yeah, that's how you enter the 7,000 subscriber giveaway. Maybe we'll get a $25 gift card. Maybe you'll get a free t-shirt of your favorite college basketball team. We'll see. I'm super excited for it. Did one for the 6,000 subscriber giveaway, and we'll be doing one for the 7,000 subscriber giveaway. So make sure you subscribe for that. And without any further ado, let's go ahead and take a look here at the SEC tournament bracket. And man, I just got to say, right off the bat, Kentucky, my favorite college basketball team, man, we suck this year. We went 9-15 in the regular season. Not a typical Kentucky year at all. We have to go win this SEC tournament to make the NCAA tournament. There's absolutely no way. Similar situation like Mississippi State, which is really weird to say, but then like Vanderbilt and Texas Am. But yeah, that's just Kentucky. How about Alabama? Nobody really expected them to make any noise this year, but they find themselves as a 1 seed here in the SEC tournament. They find themselves as a 2 seed in the NCAA tournament, which is just crazy. Nate Oates has done a fantastic job with that program. Same thing with Eric Musselman. Yep, Eric Musselman, Arkansas down here, number 2 seed in the SEC, one of the hottest, if not the hottest team in the nation right now. I think they've won like 10 out of their last 11 games or something like that, with the only loss being to Oklahoma State. He has done a great job with that team, finding themselves here as a 2 seed in the SEC tournament and a 3 seed in the NCAA tournament. So congratulations if you're a Razorback fan. This has been the best season since probably the 90s for your program. Then we also have LSU here as a 3 seed, Tennessee as a 4 after beating Florida earlier today. Florida finding themselves as a 5 here, a great turnaround. They'll be making the tournament after losing Keontae Johnson at the beginning of the season, which was their best player. So hopefully he's doing well. Not sure what his future basketball career is going to be, whether he can play again or whatever. But yeah, prayers out to Keontae Johnson to just remain healthy. And that was just a scary situation back in like November or December whenever he had collapsed. But then we have Ole Miss here as a 6 seed. They need to make some noise here in the SEC tournament to be able to get a bid into the NCAA tournament. They're on the bubble, showing up as like the next 4 out teams. So a win here over LSU might not even be enough. They may have to go and beat Arkansas, or maybe Missouri. Arkansas will probably be the best case scenario to make the SEC tournament finals. If they can make the finals, I think that'll be enough to get a bid. But other than that, I think they're going to be out of the tournament. Missouri has locked up a bid. They've had a rough end to the season, rough month of February after beating Alabama at one point. Then over here we have Kentucky, as I mentioned earlier. Mississippi State as the 9. They need to win to get in. Same thing with Georgia here, win to get in, along with South Carolina, Vanderbilt, and Texas A&M. Now, if you're wondering why there's only 13 teams here in the bracket when there are 14 teams in the SEC, it is because Auburn is ineligible for the postseason due to violations or sanctions or whatever from the past. So there's no point for them to play here in the SEC tournament because they can't make the NCAA anyway. So yeah, they're just not even going to play. So there's only 13 teams here. Usually there's 2 first-round matchups, but there's only going to be this one this year. Now let's go ahead and kick that one off. So Vanderbilt and Texas A&M, I do think that Vanderbilt will be able to win this game. They've gotten a couple surprise wins over the course of the season, but I think that they can easily get that victory there over Texas A&M. They got Scottie Pippen Jr. You never know, they can make a run in the tournament. Crazier things have happened before, but I do think that they'll be able to beat Texas A&M there in the first round. So then we'll go up here to the beginning of the second round. Kentucky versus Mississippi State. These two teams played earlier in the season, and Kentucky won. I think they just played the once, and I do think that Kentucky will win again here. They destroyed South Carolina this past weekend, but I do think that'll be enough for them to go ahead and get that victory there against Mississippi State. Then we have Florida versus Vanderbilt. I do think that Florida can beat Vanderbilt there. Florida has been a team that just kind of can't crack that top tier of the SEC. They looked really good at the beginning of the season, but they just kind of been hanging around in that second tier, along with being in like the 7 to 10 range in the bracketology seed lines. So yeah, I think that Florida will be able to move on here past Vanderbilt. Shouldn't struggle too much there. Along with Ole Miss, I think Ole Miss can move on past South Carolina. Ole Miss has to be fired up for this SEC tournament. They have to turn it on. They have to have a great performance here, and I think that they'll be able to move on past South Carolina. So no upset so far. But then Missouri and Georgia, as much as I want to pick Georgia to pull off the upset here in the second round, I am going to have to go with Missouri. Missouri has been impressive. That team has shown that they can beat anybody in college basketball. They have some impressive wins on their resume this season. That's why they're still showing up as like a 6 or a 7 seed in most of the bracketologies. But they got to get some wins here in the tournament. They just got to build some confidence. I think that they can beat Georgia there and move on to the quarterfinals of the SEC tournament. So we will move up back here to the top of the bracket in the quarterfinals. As much as I want to pick my Kentucky Wildcats to make a run in the tournament, maybe if they had been paired up with like Florida or maybe like Ole Miss or something like that, or maybe even Missouri, they could have done something. But they're running into Alabama. They got swept by Alabama this season. I don't see a reason why Kentucky can win there, and especially if I pick Kentucky to win, you guys are going to call me homers. But I mean, I just don't see Kentucky winning that one. Maybe they can. Maybe Davion Mintz and BJ Boston and all of them can pull off the upset there, but I just don't see it happening. I got to go with Alabama there. My poor Kentucky. Maybe they probably won't even get invited to the NIT at 9 and 16. But then we have Tennessee and Florida here. These two teams literally just played like 30 minutes ago. That was the final SEC regular season game, which allowed this bracket to finally be finalized. I do think that Tennessee will go ahead and win that one again as well. I don't know if those two teams have played more than they have, or if they played twice or whatever. I know that Tennessee just won or whatever. So I do believe that Tennessee can win this game, and they will move on to the semifinals of the SEC tournament. And then we have Ole Miss and LSU here, and I'm going to go with an upset pick with Ole Miss over LSU. I don't know if these two teams played earlier this year. I'll probably be saying that a lot. But I think that Ole Miss, kind of similar to a lot of other teams in my other conference tournament predictions, they know they have to make a run in this tournament to be able to make the NCAA tournament. I like LSU as a potential sleeper team as an 8 or 9 seed to knock off a 1 seed in the NCAA tournament. We'll kind of see what happens and who they end up getting paired up with. But I think that they'll kind of take it easy here, and Ole Miss just has so much more to play for. I think they upset LSU there. And then Missouri and Arkansas, I do think that Arkansas will be able to beat Missouri there. Not too much of a struggle. Maybe Missouri will spring the surprise upset, but I just don't see it happening. So I have Arkansas moving on to the SEC semifinals. So we're going to go ahead and scroll back up here. SEC tournament semifinals, Alabama as the 1 seed, Tennessee as the 4 seed. I am going to go with Alabama. I just don't see Tennessee upsetting Alabama there. Alabama has been fantastic. If they can stay hot from the three-point line, I mean, they live and die by the three-point line. They are the top perimeter shooting team in the SEC. I think they're like top 10 nationally too. But if they go cold, they can be upset by anybody. So that's probably why I won't have them moving on too far in the NCAA tournament, maybe making it to the Elite 8 Sweet 16, depending on who they're matched up with. But if they go cold, anybody can beat them. But I just don't think Tennessee can be that team that beats them. I think Alabama stays mediocre, like a medium warm to hot in this matchup. So then Ole Miss and Arkansas. As much as I want to pick Ole Miss to pull off the surprise upset victory there, I just can't do it. I got to go with Arkansas moving on past Ole Miss. I think Ole Miss can pull off the upset. They have to win that game if they want to make the NCAA tournament, but Arkansas is just too good. I don't see them losing to Ole Miss in that matchup, and I think they'll set up this huge matchup here in the SEC tournament final. It's the top 2 seeds in the SEC, best 2 teams in the SEC just flat out. No games with the SEC, like conference records kind of pushing some teams in a lower seed and bringing up some other teams. But yeah, these are the top 2 teams in the SEC this year. Alabama and Arkansas, and I am going to go with 2-seed Arkansas winning the SEC championship. As I mentioned, this team is the hottest team in the SEC right now, one of the hottest teams in the nation. I think Arkansas beat Alabama the last time they played as well. Don't know if they played twice this year, but I do think that Arkansas can win their first SEC championship in forever, probably since the 90s. I don't know too much about Arkansas's basketball history as a Kentucky fan and just kind of, yeah, whatever. But I do think that they can beat Alabama there. Arkansas's defense has been great this year. It'll be a high-scoring matchup. I mean, both these teams average, I think, like in the 80-point range or something. Over-under is probably going to be like 160, something like that, something crazy. It'll be a fun game to watch, but I just think that Arkansas is a better, complete team. They are a hot team right now, right in that hot streak into the NCAA tournament. And hey, if they beat Alabama here, I think they can make the 2-seed in the NCAA tournament. If it comes down to Alabama versus Arkansas for the final 2-seed, it may come down to who wins this SEC tournament as the final 2-seed, kind of like Tennessee and Kentucky back in 2019 when the SEC tournament final was between them, and I think Tennessee won and got the better seed. But yeah, here we go. Arkansas is the SEC tournament champion, in my opinion. Let me know what you guys think of my SEC tournament predictions here. Let me know your own SEC tournament predictions in the comment section below. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you all later.